on Judge Alex. A dog is mysteriously missing.
When I got back to the house, she never ran to the door. I said, "Where's Zoe?" She said, "I don't know." When I went outside, I came across some blood. So I'm looking up at her fourth floor window and I'm looking down and I'm like, nah, that didn't happen.
But when the unthinkable happens, who is to blame?
My son has a habit of throwing things out the window, and she knows of this. We don't open my windows in my house.
Today, Judge Alex has all the proof he needs.
One of the maintenance guys came out and he said someone threw doggy from window. My friend went and she came out first and she said, "Nikki, you do not want to see this."
See what?
See the video.
What video?
They have surveillance cameras.
Is that what you sent us?
Yes.
As a cop, he stood up for the law. As a trial lawyer, he fought for the truth. And as a criminal court judge, he commanded authority. Now he returns to preside over America's courtroom. Judge Alex. Nikki Norman is suing her former roommate, Imani Hanks, for $5,000 because she claims that while she was at work, Imani threw her dog Zoe out of their apartment window, killing her. Nikki is here with her mother, Deborah Norman. Imani Hanks denies having anything to do with Nikki's missing dog. Imani says she was kind enough to give Nikki a place to live when she had no place else to go, and she can't believe Nikki is suing her. Imani is countersuing Nikki for $4,624 for rent, property damage, and defamation of character.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Alex Ferrer presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. Miss Norman,
Yes.
you say that your former roommate killed your dog by throwing it out the window of your apartment. So you're suing her for the cost of the dog and also for mental anguish. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and Ms. Hanks, you say you had absolutely nothing to do with the death of her dog, and in fact you're counterclaiming for slander and also for pain and suffering and for rent that she owes you. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. All right, tell me what happened here.
What happened was my living arrangement got really sticky. So I was initially going to go back and move to Detroit with my mother, or I was going to go and actually probably go stay in a shelter.
And is that how you ended up moving in with the defendant?
Yes, she asked me to come and stay with her.
At the point when you moved in, or at the point when you met Ms. Hanks here, did you already have this dog that you're suing over?
Yes,
You
I
did.
had already had her prior.
Tell me about the dog.
Zoe was full of a lot of love. She was not a barky dog. She never snapped at
What kind of
people.
dog was she?
A 3.5-pound terrier.
Do you have any pictures of her?
Yeah.
Let me see what you have. Victor, bring him up. When did you get Zoe?
I got Zoe in November of 2003, the end of 2003.
Let me put these up. Now, is that a Yorkshire Terrier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that a teacup terrier?
Yeah.
So it's a little tiny terrier. Okay. All right. Next picture. I am assuming that all of that over there belonged to Zoe, right?
Yeah.
She had a little dog stroller. Are those clothes on a rack?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did you think of the dog? Like it or
When I
not?
saw Zoe, she was a pound in it. I just fell in love with her. She was my grand dog. Zoe was just so unique to me. I mean, really, I loved Zoe. I mean, you couldn't help but to love her. And she never barked. I said, for the first months, Zoe never would bark or anything. And once Zoe, probably 5 or 6 months later, barked, Maya called me, "Mom, she's barking, listen to her. You can hear, woof, woof." I said, "I can't believe it. The dog is a dog." But
What did you think of Zoe?
Oh, I love Zoe. Like, I
You
love
met her
Zoe.
when she moved in, or before that?
I used to go to Nikki's house all the time.
All right, so in any event, go ahead.
This
Tell
is
me
what
happened.
happened. I got up early in the morning and left for work. I had to be to work at 9 o'clock. She was already awake when I got up. So later on that day, when I got back to the house, this is Zoe's routine. Zoe would run to the door. She never ran to the door. I said, "Pinky, where is Zoe?"
You're Pinky?
Yes.
I said, "Where's Zoe?" She said, "I don't know. She's under the bed."
I was
I
asleep.
said, "No, she's not under the bed. You were false sleeping.
No,
So I went and I'm like, Pinky, get up. And she's like, what? And I said, where's Zoe? She's like, she's under the bed. I said, no, she's not under the bed. So I ended up like being frantic and I went outside. When I went outside, I saw like a whole bunch of my drawing stuff thrown outside and I came across some blood. So I'm looking up at her 4th floor window and I'm looking down and I'm like, nah, that didn't happen. That couldn't have happened. So I ended up, went back in the house. I'm looking for her, like I'm frantic, like I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm cursing, I'm frantic because I'm like, where is my dog? Like, this is not her routine. Where is she at? She's like, I don't know. You need to calm down. Then she started calling everybody. People I didn't even tell her to call.
Because she started getting violent, and she was yelling, and she scared my son. When she immediately came downstairs, because it was evident that my son threw everything out the window, because there was cups.
What do you mean your son threw everything out the window?
My son has a habit of throwing things out the window, basically. And she knows of this. We don't open my windows in my house. We don't leave my windows open because there's no screens to protect. There's bars, like, you know, the security bars, but there's no screen.
Coming up on Judge Alex, does this witness accuse her of something wicked?
I said, where is Zoe? She said, I don't know. I said, you are a liar. I said, why don't you confess what has happened to Zoe so that we will know?
And later is the answer on this videotape.
One of the maintenance guys came out. He said, someone throw doggy from window. My friend went and she came out first and she said, Nikki, you do not want to see this.
See what?
See the video.
What video?
They have surveillance cameras.
Is that what you sent us?
Yes. So I called my mother, and my mother will tell you, I was frantic, I was crying. It was like really bad.
What did you do then?
Yes, she called and she said, Zoe is missing. I said, what do you mean missing? And she was sobbing, and I was like, what are you trying to tell me? She said, Zoe is missing. I really think that Zoe might be dead. I said, no. I said, Zoe isn't dead or whatever. And so Pinky got on the phone, and I said, where is Zoe? She said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? Haven't you been there all day? I said, look, I said, I am a straightforward person. I said, you are a liar. She said, I'm not a liar. I said, you are. I said, why don't you confess what has happened to Zoe so that we will know?
Ms. Hanks, tell me what was going on during this time.
Basically, she was yelling, stomping, banging on my window, like punching my walls and stuff, and really out of control. My son was there, he was crying too. Because when she first came upstairs and noticed all this stuff outside, she spanked him. She was spanking him on his butt, and she did not do that.
No,
yes,
I was not, Your Honor. No, I was not.
All right,
took my son and she was going like that.
Moving on from that, what happened?
My son started screaming, because she was screaming and crying while she was doing this. She went into a mania, and then she calmed down into crying, and I just grabbed her, and I was just holding her and hugging her, telling her to calm down.
Okay, so what happened next after this incident in the house?
My mother called me that Monday. She said, Nikki, go scrape up some of the blood that was on the ground so we can take it to the vet to go and get it tested, because they had already had her blood sample. So I said, okay. I had one of my really good friends drive me there. So when we got there, one of the maintenance guys came out. And he said, she started talking to him because I don't know Spanish. She knows just a little bit of Spanish. And she said, you know, this doggy. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, someone throw doggy from window. So then we kept looking. Me and her looked at each other, and we're like, what? And so we ended up, he led us to the manager, the super of the building. My friend went, and she came out first. And she said, Nikki, you do not want to see this. And I said, yes, I do. And she said,
see what?
See the video. She saw it before I saw it.
What video?
The video. There was a surveillance video.
Surveillance cameras.
They have surveillance cameras.
So they have surveillance cameras, and those surveillance cameras caught your dog falling from the window?
Yes, they caught the dog falling from the window. That was the hardest thing for me to even look at.
Is that what you sent us?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll play the clip that you sent here. Can you tell me what I'm seeing? Okay, what do I have?
That is, you see the shaft right there with the...
I see the lid up, please.
With the air conditioner.
Oh, that's my story.
And what happened, that shaft, like I keep telling her, her window is on the 4th floor.
Okay, just tell me what I'm watching.
Okay, you're looking at her pick her up off the ground.
Yes, I explained that.
But she didn't do it. She don't know what happened to her, but yet you're sitting up here and you picking her up off the ground. and then you shove her in a garbage bag.
Up next on Judge Alex, does she get tripped up by her own story?
We were on our way out the door because it was like the doggy went outside. I opened the door in the courtyard. I see the dog lying dead. So I call her phone don't pick up.
What were you going to call her for?
To tell her to come home.
So when she eventually came home and she started asking you where her dog was, why did you tell her I don't know?